You should never rely on AI to do 100% of the work for you. Like if you're applying for a job and you say, write my resume or write my cover letter and just you're firing it out, that's not going to result well for you. You need to know how this works and how you can operate more efficiently by using it. And I'm going to give you 21 ideas you can use AI for in your job search. 21 ideas. Kind of rapid fire a little bit, because I'm telling you from my conversations I had at National Sports Forum, that's what people are looking for.
This is the Work in Sports Podcast.
Let's dive into a really good fan question today from Janelle in Missouri. Before I do that, just to remind everybody, you can email me your questions, bclap@workinsports.com. If you've got questions, you can hit me up on LinkedIn and you can just share your questions there. You got a topic you want me to cover on a show? We'll do it right here. Just send me your questions and I'll do my best to dig into it. But today, it's Janelle in Missouri.
Hey, Brian. I'm a college senior starting to apply for jobs for after I graduate at the end of May. I've heard a lot of people discussing how to leverage AI in your job search. What do you think? Any opinions here?
Well, Janelle, of course I have opinions. I mean, that's kind of what I'm here for, is just to throw out my opinions and make sure everybody hears them.
You know, that's just like your opinion, man.
That's why I have the largest microphone in every conversation.
You know what they say?
Bigger the microphone.
The bigger the...
You betcha. I got some thoughts. So I will tell you, I just got back from a conference in Pittsburgh. It was a national sports forum. Great conference every year. They go around different spots of the country, but it's a great event. There are a lot of breakout sessions, a lot of training and opportunities. And then there's also a ton of networking. And I would tell you, every time I tend to look at the agenda and see what the themes are, or see what people are kind of trending towards, because if there's 30 breakout sessions, let's say, you can look at them and analyze and see this is where our world is headed. And I'll tell you what, it was AI. It was absolutely 100% AI and big data. You need to know how this works and how you can operate more efficiently by using it. Kind of think of it like social media. When social media first started to blast onto the scene in the early 2000s, early to mid, 2007-ish kind of range, a lot of us kind of looked at it like, this is fun. You share things, you stay connected, whatever. Other people kind of looked at it and said, there's an opportunity here where I can actually carve out a career. You right now are in that phase with AI. And I think you should start to be in that latter category. So personally, I feel like, because I've been doing this for a while. I've been in the industry for 25 years. Like I've been doing this for a while. I kind of felt like I went through the 5 stages of grief with AI. Really, I have in the last 6 months to a year. At first it was denial. It was like, no, this isn't really happening. Machines aren't taking over. No. It's going to be junk. Don't worry about it. And then I was angry about it. This is the end of society as we know it. You fools don't see that you're displacing yourself. You're allowing the machines to be smarter than you, and then they're going to replace you. It was angry. It was like, how can we let this happen? It's Skynet. It's Terminator. Didn't you guys watch this? Then it was kind of bargaining. Well, maybe if I use it a little, for these specific things, I wouldn't be contributing to the downfall of society.
We live in a society.
And it was depression. I can't believe this is the future for my kids. Like, how are they going to get an entry-level job? And how are they going to be able to do anything? And how are they going to get real experience? And how is this the world that we're going to live in? And now I'm at the acceptance part. It. We're here. Deal with it. So it's been a roller coaster is what I'm getting at. I'm in acceptance. I'm at the point where I see the function, I see the purpose, I see the attributes of it, I see where it's headed, and it is important. But in this acceptance phase, one thing that I've really learned, and it's made me more comfortable with it too, is that you should never rely on AI to do 100% of the work for you. Like if you're applying for a job and you say, write my resume or write my cover letter, and just you're firing it out, that's not going to result well for you. But if you can start to use it to get you most of the way there in an intelligent fashion, that may pick up on things or see things that you're not, or even suggest you in a certain idea, this is something that can really benefit you and will really benefit you. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you 21 ideas you can use AI for in your job search. 21 ideas.
21?
Like kind of rapid fire a little bit, but I want you to be triggered into ideas that you could say, oh, that's an interesting use case, or, oh, that could work for me. And there's going to be something in here for everybody. They are not organized by order other than the order that they came out of my head when I was writing them down. So I probably could have grouped them more effectively, but who cares? They're ideas. I want you to run with them and spark your own. So number one, I'm actually not going to even number them. I'm just going to start saying them. You guys can write them down if you want. Chat GPT or any other AI platform, Gemini or whatever you're using, help develop a list of questions a job seeker can ask during an informational meeting. Right? We talk about informational interviews a lot. Here I am explaining things, but we talk about informational interviews a lot. And a lot of what I get is, well, what do I ask? Start to get a seed list from AI. It can help job seekers identify alternative job titles in a new industry. So you may be thinking, I think I want to work as a social media coordinator. Well, what are other jobs that are kind of like that one? It might spark you to a new opportunity, a new way to start your job search. It can even help you make a career shift to something totally different. You can plug in your resume and say, what jobs am I a good match for? And you'll get career titles out of that. Or you can start to plug in your experience or key terms, and you'll start to get other career titles that you could be a match for. This is one of the hardest things that people face is like, I don't love what I'm doing. What else am I qualified for? What should I look for? Craft a rough draft of a cover letter. Plug in a job description, a job ad, and your resume. These are two source documents. What would be a good cover letter for this? Gets you started. Craft a thank you note. Follow-up email. That's two different ideas. Help you prepare for common interview questions. How would I answer for this job description? How would I answer whatever common interview question? Here, I'll dig in a little bit deeper. Number 8, ask GPT or any other AI provider to identify core competencies based on the targeted role, and you add job postings to it. So here's what I'm getting at. I've told you for years now, go study job descriptions, pull out the data points in there that say, we need somebody who can do X, Y, and Z. Like these are the skills we need somebody to have. Well, if that was too much work for you, you can do it with Chat GPT now and say, plug in these 4 jobs that I'm interested in. What are those core competencies that I need to be good at? Distill this down for me. And then leverage that into creating your resume with the proper soft skills and hard skills, matching the industry, right? You can conduct job research and find out about a company, find out about their background, tons of questions you should be asking and researching. You can do it faster than ever now. You can compare your transferable skills to open up ideas for new role possibilities. So if you're in a role that you're not, maybe you want to get a promotion, you want to move into something else within an organization, you can start to research what those opportunities may be that align with your skill set. You can start to build out portfolio items that you can include with an application. So what I mean by that is, I remember one of my favorite guests all time on this show, Brian Killingsworth, CMO of the Vegas Golden Knights. He said when people apply for jobs, they're always sending in a resume and a cover letter. Well, when somebody sends in something extra, like a report on why we should do esports, why we should invest in esports, and with a data report and a proof of concept, that stood out to him. This is that concept. What can I do extra as part of a portfolio, as part of a presentation to make myself most valuable to this job? You can really pull out those requirements from a job description to use in your job search and process and ATS. Again, targeting, making sure your resume is matching the requirements of a job so that you're going to be picked up by the ATS. You can develop your elevator pitch that encapsulates key role-specific talking points. So you're interested in this type of a role, a career, a path for yourself, like have it create an elevator pitch for you that you can then master and be able to nail with your own kind of enthusiasm and personality. Help you write your about section on LinkedIn. Develop a list of expectations from job postings. What would somebody expect when they're hiring for this role? And make sure you're prepared for that interview process. If you're looking for fit, this is one of the big things I get questioned on all the time is, I'm trying to figure out where I'm a big sports fan. I'm trying to figure out where I fit in the industry. Well, you're looking for your fit. Feed your resume in with your specific majors, courses you've taken, and figure out what type of jobs that you're a good match for and see what you align with. And it will start to give you a direction you can push towards. Number 18, you can support your interview prep. You can do research into how to answer certain questions, how to research for the certain job, what follow-up questions to ask. Number 19, identify industry influencers and key decision makers. You want to work in social media? Who should I get connected with? It's in social media and sports. Who are the main influencers in sports marketing? These are the people you connect with and start to build relationships with. Who are the main points of contact for talent acquisition with the Minnesota Wild? Like you can start to use this as a sourcing instrument as well. Create a job posting specific cover letter. I said something similar to that earlier, but you round back around to some ideas and they get a little bit repetitive. But the idea here is now, rather than just creating a draft of your cover letter, you can create one that's specific to a job posting and then customize it again after you get that most of the way there. And then final one, adjusting your resume to be job posting specific. I've always talked about how you need to have multiple versions of your resume. How easy is it now to say, here is my resume, here's a job posting. What should I include in this to make sure it matches appropriately? So what we're talking about here is efficiency. We're talking about ways to make your processes move smoother and to make sure you are customizing your job, your resume and approach, your portfolio, your cover letter, all of those elements for the application process. Because remember, there's phases to job searching. There's the figuring out your fit process. There's the applying for jobs process with your resume and your cover letter and your materials. And then there's the interviewing process. And somewhere in the middle too, there's networking that you're doing kind of throughout. But that interview process, you can prep yourself for it. That application process, you can make sure you're matching well for it. The ways you can use AI in every single one of these aspects of your job search. Like the people who started early in social media and really started to build their brand on that platform, look for ways to make an AI a part of who you are and what you bring to an organization. Because I'm telling you, from my conversations I had at National Sports Forum, that's what people are looking for. They want people that are well-versed in this, that have good ideas for how to maximize it. And this was talking about how you can use it in your job search. But what I want you to do is take it even further and start to think about how you would apply it on the job. So start doing research in those areas too. This is the point where you put your flag in the ground and say, I'm going to be heavily invested in this. So these were just a bunch of 21 ideas you can use to make your job search a little bit more efficient with AI. And I hope it was helpful. And I'm going to try to be back as regularly as possible here on the Work in Sports podcast because this is so much fun talking to y'all. I'll see you next week.